Okay, Charisse and Danielle, we are now going to continue on with this segment of the class. And
Can I hold it for you, Sarah?
sure. We're missing Andy, so if you want to go up to the.
Okay.
Yeah. So note recognition, I'm sure that's self-explanatory. There are 88 notes on a full keyboard, and we want to recognize instantly and comfortably every one of those, regardless of what key signature it's in. So notes are analogous to alphabet letters in the English language. We can't read or write in English if we haven't mastered the alphabet. Likewise, we cannot read or play music if we haven't mastered the music alphabet. So now I'll take that, and you girls can do your C. I want to review what these notes look like. This is for octave 1, so this would be on the lowest part of your keyboard. And this will not have, I think we're going to have to move over to the Blackie because I want to show, and I can do this with Sibelius. Do you see the names of the note heads? That's the lowest C, and it's octave 1. So I want you girls, you can take turns. Why don't you play octave 1, Charisse?
This one?
Yep. And so that's what it looks like she's playing. Why don't you just rev it up real good? And I'm going to turn on my fancy dancy. Okay, hold on. Look what I got. Oh, it disappeared.
Oh, no.
Well, yeah, there it is. Okay, so can you see that little dot there?
Yeah.
That's C. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a space note below 5 additional ledger lines. And this is what it looks like in place. Of course, I'm upside down. Here. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry about the video. So this is A, B. This is the first C. Okay, and so she's going to play the scale C, and go up D, E, F, G, A, B. Not because these notes are included in the C1 octave. Now I'll take that because the next C starts C2.
Oh.
Octave C2. So play it again while we're looking at the screen, dear. There we go. Yep, that's the first octave. So you can use these for writing music because these will give you a real true from Sibelius where they are and what they look like. And that would be, I put that in the left hand only because if I drew all the ledger lines for the, you have some handouts of that, or we covered that, but it's just not readable.
Okay.
So now we're going to turn to the next octave. Danielle, will you play that? And is that recognizable to you as a piano player? Okay, so actually then comfort comes, here, you want to video that? Comfort comes when this, look at, we don't have to worry about these right now visually on manuscript paper or in sheet music because there's a trick I'm going to show you later.
Oh, good. Okay.
But this is C2, and she is going to play, give me a shot up there, dear. She's going to play that C, D, E, F, G, A, B. And I'd like to keep it up here while she plays it.
Okay.
Yeah. C, D, E, F, G, A, B. Thank you. Now we'll show her doing it. Okay, do you have that on there, dear? And
I
we're
do.
recording?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, next. Up on the screen, we have octave 3, or C3. What do you notice that's different in this slide? What do we have now?
You've put it in the treble clef also.
Yes, and that is probably, I have seen a lot of these in hymns and other classical music, so it's good to be able to recognize that C. And how many ledger lines? 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a spatial note, 4 ledger lines down. And if, I guess you could play them all. You could play, but it's too much.
You do it, Danielle,
Okay.
if that's okay.
Okay, find octave C, or 3 I should say, octave C3. And we're going to play, that would be the bass, C, D, E, F, G, A, B. But this one is also that octave, so. Are there any questions as to the appearance of, can you get familiar with that octave C so that you can become an avid hymn player or classical music player or composer with comfort? Remember that that C is the same tonality and pitch as that C, but they just look different. They're all found in the octave C3.
Okay.
Okay.
So
now,
we're at 6 minutes. Is that okay? Is that too long?
no, we will.
What
you for asking that.
what should we go to before we?
I will know. I will know.
Okay. Okay.
So now we're going to go to octave 4. Now we are still within a very comfortable zone. This is octave 4. That gives us the middle C. I wish this would work a little bit better. Can you see that red light? Barely. I think I'll send it back. So that C and that C are the same. They're the very same notes. Even if I could crunch the bass and treble together, this C would eventually blend up into that one. And actually, girls, that line there with the D, here's a secret. When I'm looking at the bass, the internal ledger lines, if I look at this and every one, that's the C. I'm talking about this ledger line, the bottom ledger line. So it's all C's. So C, and of course on top of C would be D. That would be the same as this. If this line and that C ledger line were extended, it would be the same as this, right? So to try to look at it, that is CE. Just like this, if it were placed as a a third, I hope I'm making myself clear. Yeah. If we move this C and draw it under that E, it would look, that E would look, that would be a C and an E. What would this one be? C, and this one would be what?
D.
And the next line?
E.
E and F. So there we go, there's the F. And how do we get 2 lines in this F? Oh, I'm really disappointed in this. Oh, I can't, the light does not show. Okay, I'm trying to pinpoint that F in the treble clef. You dummy.
Sometimes
hey, up here.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
does.
But, okay, so okay, I want you to visualize these 2 notes being the same note. It's hard because look at their faces. They're so different, but they're in the same octave. So if we took this C and this C, let's see how we're going to do this. And if we took the C and the E, just that's the C and the E, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the F is sitting in the space, that would be easily recognizable. And you can do this when you're playing it. Put your hand on C, and then this is the 4th degree of it. C, just play a C. Now that's C there. Now D, E, F. Now crunch them down together. That's what you're seeing actually without playing the bottom notes. But that's the same as this F would be if we played C, D, E, F there. I hope I'm not being too
Know that.
dumb
good.
with this.
No. It's
Okay,
great.
so, I guess we could put, without pointing, we know we have G, just look at them, memorize them. Someone asked, I think it was you, Charisse, in a note to me on a question, how can we memorize all these notes and all of these different key signatures? And the answer starts with P, and it's a daily thing that we should do. What is it?
Practice.
That's your answer. It's just like anything else. If you're familiar with it, you exercise it, you massage it, you're familiar with it. It's just night and day. You don't have to look up anything. You have to memorize it. You'll feel it, you'll hear it, you'll recognize it, you'll just know it. So practice, practice, practice. And when you're practicing these octaves, look at the notes and then look at where you are and kind of put them all together, just like when we were kindergartners and first graders. The hardest word for me was the word the. I don't know why I tripped all over the, but once I got it, everything opened up for me.
Wow.
So things might be hard at first, but they will improve with practice and familiarity. Do you want to play that
Sure.
scale? Octave 4.
D, E, F, G, A, B.
Good. Now we'll go on to the next. And now, what do you notice about that? The sweet zone is 3 and 4. Now at 5, if we kept going with the bass notes, all these ledger lines would just be crazy. So when you're writing your music or playing your music, this will be helpful. So I'm not going to do the laser because it's too stubborn. So now we are at that C, and can you play the scale? Say it out loud as you're going.
C, D, E, F, G, A, B.
Wow, that's getting pretty high. But look at girls. We've gone from here to where was that last one?
B.
We started here, didn't we? Here, it's so hard upside down. That's a lot of notes. And you recognize them on the sheet music, don't you? Pretty much. So we'll keep going. We're getting way high now. We're all in the 6th, and there are only 7 full octaves. So we only have 2 octaves to go. This is octave C6. Here we go.
C, D, E, F, G, A, B.
And are there any comments? Do you girls have any visualization things that you want to share with the YouTubers? Or is anything coming to your mind that you can help teach this?
Well, not about this particularly, but I guess I just realized
Talk
that
louder.
there's actually another ledger line on top of the staff that you have. So before they connect to each other, so there's a line in between, you know, where C is. There's actually a line there. You don't see it, but then before you go up into the treble clef. Does that make sense? I connected to me, and so
Okay, this
now it's
C
maybe
here,
a
the
little
first
easier.
one up there, what did you say
Well,
about that?
actually, I'm thinking of before when we were connecting to the treble and bass, that there's just kind of an imaginary ledger line
Okay,
that before it connects to the
Now-
treble clef.
this is where I'm stumped as a reader and performer. When I see all of those ledger lines, I go crazy.
So do I. It's hard. Sometimes I have to write the letter name of the note in on the music
You know,
because I don't have that locked
yes,
in my brain.
I have interviewed at least 2 or 3 professors at college level in music theory, and they do the same thing. I was shocked.
Wow.
Huh.
I think it was the good Lord who gave me kind of a cue as
Okay.
I've been fasting and praying and really earnestly studying this stuff. And we'll get into that later, but I call it anchor points. Anchor points
Okay.
along the staff, either as we go up above the treble or as we go below or up above, you know, in between the 2 staves and below the bass. We'll get into that later, but
Okay.
it's so refreshing to see this clarity. We have one left. Now, talk about getting way up in the air.
Oh my stars.
Go ahead there.
C, D, E, F, G, A, B.
There we go. That gives us quite a broad perspective. Here we are to there.
And it's 7 octaves, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And no classical pianist knows any more keys than that because, well, of course we have these very end notes and all of the black keys, but they all stem from these white notes in the various, their faces that change from octave to octave. So let's see what's next, and I think before we close, or did you close?
Nope.
Before we close, I want to introduce let's say it together, octava, octava. This is, I think I have it written down here. It's written AVA, as you see.
That's
there.
what 8, well, I always thought it was 8 VA, and that's intended to mean
It's called,
octava.
let's see. These are abbreviations, 8VA or
Oh,
octava.
I didn't know that.
Let's say this new word.
Octava.
Indicates that a note or a section or a phrase or a part of the music is to be played 1 octave higher than it's written. And I'll go back. That would be on this side right here, this AVA equals that. So in other words, to avoid these so many ledger lines, we can simplify it by putting that symbol, AVA, octava, above. So in the first example, in the treble clef there, C, D, E, F, now looks like the one we had in that octave higher, C, D, E, F. Makes it a lot simpler, and trust me, every musician, I don't care what instrument they play, can appreciate that.
For sure.
And it's very much used all the time. And some of my favorite composers, very advanced composers, and I brought their sheet music so you can look at it. Now, in the bass clef, the AVA with the, notice the enclosure lines. It goes like a stitch. And when it gets done, it encloses it either coming down for the ledger lines that go an octave higher, or just kind of scoops it up from the floor and says, hey, you know, this, I want you to, here, I'm gonna pick you up and throw you down farther. Do you see the difference?
Yes.
To me, if I were creating these symbols, I would have done it the reverse way, because this means go up and this means go down when I consider the stitch line. But it's the opposite. Okay. And I am giving credit to the sources for that. For some reason, it doesn't come through. I've tried to make that black, a
link.
the link, and it won't.
Yeah.
So we'll go just a little bit more. So we've covered this, but the AVB, or ottava bassa.
Bassa.
Ottava bassa. Bassa, that's what it was. I looked it up. Ottava bassa. I might not be saying it perfect.
Elvis Presley says bossa nova.
Oh, there we go.
Bossa nova.
Hey, I love that. Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, that's cute that you know exactly what I'm talking about.
That indicates that a note, section, phrase, or a part of the music is played one octave lower than it's written, and we got one more.
Oh.
We've got the 15 MA and MB, and in music, 15 MA means to play a note or a section or whatever, 2 octaves higher than written, while the 15 MB means the opposite, to play it 2 octaves lower than written. Both of these are abbreviations for the Italian word quindicima, which means 15th. 15 MA is short for quindecima alta, which means 15th higher, and 15 MB is short for quindecima bassa, which means 15 lower. And I said to myself, 15, why not 16? Because 8 and 8.
Yeah.
And this is what I got. The symbol 15 MA in music signifies 2 octaves higher, because if you count the notes, including the starting and ending notes, there are only 15 notes, not 16. It's short for the Italian quindecima, meaning 15. So let's check to see if that's true. I didn't check it out. So if we do, let's say C, let's go C4, and then let's go up to C6, and let's check how the notes. The middle C is C4. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So now, let's count how many notes, starting with this note, and 2 octaves higher.
Starting with this note.
Let's get our end note. There's backwards, I can't do it. Okay, so how many notes are, I think,
You would
just
think it
the
was
white- just the
16,
white keys.
but-
Let's just count that, see,
Okay.
start, just the white keys.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
Okay, so 15. That's why if you see this 15 symbol, it means 2 octaves higher or lower. Now with that, we will shut that segment off and start